Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Fix It Phil. And today we're going to talk about what to expect in the last 4 months of 2025. Can you believe that? Only 4 months left in the year. Um, I can't wrap my mind around that. But I'm going to do my best here to try to bring you up to speed as far as what I see. And for those of you who are new to the channel, we're really aiming towards trying to educate people who have a retro store or people who like to do repairs on the side, because a lot has changed since COVID. Um, it seems like more and more items are getting harder to find as far as in good shape. It's getting harder and harder to buy and sell in a very saturated market. What I mean by that, if you look at some of the other videos that I've had in the past, if you look at the number of people now trying to do retro in your local area, I mean, I just clicked on this in real time and look at all the video game stuff here where people are trying to capitalize on reselling. And because of that, it's really getting to a point where you can't even go to a garage sale anymore and find good deals, because you literally have people handing out their business card and paying up on a lot of the product that's out there. And I'm here to tell you that you can't continue to operate that way, buy high and control, and sell higher, because eventually what's going to happen, just like with any market, the bottom's going to drop out on you, and you have to be aware of that. And if you're not uh, educated in the business and how it really works, and you're aware of these natural cycles that occur, boy, I know more people who have decided that they were going to get into the retro, then they didn't have the capital to get started. So they got this bright idea that they were going to go out and get a credit card at 34.99%. And I'm not making up that number. The interest rates right now are ridiculous. And so if you're borrowing that kind of money to buy high in hopes to sell higher, you are going to be humbled. So I'll get off my soapbox. Let's talk about what I see in the retro community, and as far as eBay. A lot of you guys know that I use eBay to kind of just give me a gauge as far as what is out there and what's been selling. And you can see that I've gone through here and I've filtered what I repair. And for those of you who have followed me, I focus on the Wii on down. I try to stay away from optical or lasers as much as I can. The only exception, uh, PS2 and Gamecube, I'll work on those all day. But here's the warning for that. Those lasers are getting really, really hard to source. And even with the Wii, as plentiful as the Wii is, those lasers are getting really hard to source too. So you really have to be careful. Um, for example, the last lot of lasers that I bought, and I don't know when I bought them, but I ended up having 9 bad lasers in a row. 9, no joke. And it didn't matter if it was a 3350 or a 3355, they were all bad. And I had talked to one of the guys in the group, and he said, "You know what? I got burned like that, and now when I get a bunch of lasers in, I have to test them immediately, and then kind of fight my battle, I guess, if you want to call it that, as far as getting a replacement or getting a refund." So those lasers for the Slim, the GameCube, and for the Wii, if you had to focus on something right now, I would probably focus on the GameCube, because most of those lasers are still good. And the only thing that really needs to happen, you just need to adjust the potentiometer and replace the caps on the logical board or the optical board. So that's what I'm beginning to see as far as lasers. One of the stores that I do a lot of business with, I had told him that these lasers were getting really hard to source. And before I had my surgery here last year, he ended up buying like $2,000 worth of lasers. And I'm telling you, it was probably one of the best moves that he's done, because he has an unreal amount of PS2 slims and fats coming in, and he's benefiting from that immensely right now. The other thing that you can do too with the PlayStation 2 is that you can use PMAP. One of the guys in the group has been very, very successful as far as recalibrating the laser and the jitter on the PS2 fats. So that's another reason why, if you haven't done so, you really need to consider joining the Fix It Phil group, because we share that kind of information on Facebook Market or on Facebook. And that's one of the groups that we have right here, this Fix It Phil right here. And we're going to share that kind of information as well as videos. So if you're new, look us up. We're up to 873 members. 873 members, and it's a private group. So if you haven't done so, look it up on Facebook, and we'd be more than happy to have you contribute to a great community. Let's look at eBay again. I'm getting off topic. If you look at what I follow, you can start to see more and more of this crap come to eBay. And one of the reasons, like we talked about for the PlayStation 2, is because people don't have lasers anymore. And so you're really starting to see these drop down significantly. 2 months ago, 3 months ago, that same PlayStation 2 was going for 40 to 50 all day. And now you can see that they've dropped down to about 30. Now, when you do this, make sure that these are sealed, or you have a good high probability that they're going to be good. And when you look at something like this and you look at the listing, this is what I do. I come in here, and if you don't have pictures to show me, like this is what I mean. This is the seal right there. If you don't have this rear picture with the seal right here, oh man, it's a hard pass. It is a hard pass. It's just like with the PS2 Slims here. Let me get one of those. PS2 Slim. If you, hold on, I got someone calling me. Let's finish this up. If you have a PS2 Slim here, and if you don't have a picture of the seal on the back or on the bottom, this too is a hard pass. Let me try to find one here that will show us one of those. The other thing I look for too, let's see if this one will do it. I want to see the laser in here. I want to know what kind of laser. So do you see how this one has the lid open? And you can see that this is just a standard 802. That's what I want to see. And then I also want to see the seal on here. And this one doesn't have it. So let's try to find one where I can actually show you where the seal lives. This is another one right here. Sometimes the seal will sit right here, but 9 out of 10 times it's going to be on the bottom. And you can see how this right here doesn't show you a seal. And to me, that just seems, that's a red flag. I'm not saying that person is dishonest. I'm just saying, if I don't see a seal, dude, I just keep walking. Because that means chances are there's a high probability that someone's been in this thing. And they're right there. This is the seal that I'm talking about. Right there. Right there. And this one looks like it's been tampered with a little bit, but 9 out of 10 times someone's going to try to cut this out. But that's why you're starting to see PS2s drop on eBay, guys. People cannot source the lasers. So if you're new to all this, what do you focus on? Right now, my go-to, handhelds. If I can find handhelds at a decent price, I'm going to work on those all day. This is outrageous as far as Japanese and imports. Let's get past this. NES, still is holding its value. 72 pins, again, very difficult to find a good 72 pin. If you want to kind of trick it out, I would highly recommend that you use a product like Laser Bears. But even there, you're going to run into pros and cons. Um, let's see. More PS2s. I mean, look at these PS2s dropping down to $30 a piece. And because of that, you're starting to see the PS2 climb in price quite a bit. My last batch, I'm getting anywhere between 65 to 85 per PS2 Slim, guys. That's a huge margin if you can find them, as well as the lasers. Even like PS2s. I mean, look at this deal right there. Two for $50 plus shipping. So what is that? 65. That's still 30 some dollars a piece. Very easy to work on. Other than that, that is what I see happening in the market. Now let's talk about what could happen going into the holidays. If you're new to this, here's the inside track to this. If you are new to repairs, and if you have established those relationships with a lot of stores, don't be shocked if you get a phone call that sounds like this: dude, whatever you have, I'll take it right now. Because it never fails. It doesn't matter if it's a good economy or a bad economy. When we roll into the holidays, more and more uh, people are trying to find their happy place, and that is usually with an old console. Uh, Keep in mind, I mean, a lot of this stuff, not only is it pushing 20, 30 years, but the people who are buying this for the holidays, they want to relive something happy and good in their life. And that is usually by going out and buying cheap entertainment, such as a retro console. So I personally know, because I've been doing this for 10 years, that you have to position yourself going into the holidays. And so I stockpile a lot of product going in because I know that these prices are going to go back up. Now, will that change? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just talking from experience that going into the holidays, that's when I want to have all my ducks in a row as far as I want to have product available. And I also want to have my repair parts stocked up, because it's not uncommon for a store to say, hey, you know, we're going to have our last push here and I need you to fix these because they don't have the parts. Well, that's your opportunity to really benefit from that, because if you have the parts to sell, then obviously you're going to have a really good fourth quarter. And that's what we're really trying to do as a group here with the Fix It Phil group, is to position people who are fairly new to this and to educate you. So until then, if you have any questions, please comment. If you haven't joined the Discord server, join the Discord server. We are starting to get more and more stores in there. I think we have 3 or 4 right now. And if you have questions about that or the exchange program, as far as, hey, I'm a new store and I can't source product, then the Discord server is for you. If you also have a problem as far as, hey, we have a boatload of this broken inventory and we need someone to offer us money because we don't have time to eBay this, or we don't have time for whatever reason to do something, then we're also here for you for that too. It seems like more and more stores are jumping on board with that because they just can't keep up with all this broken stuff coming in, but yet at the same time they want to offer their customers some money for it. I mean, that's an option. So never be afraid to take in broken items. And for us, you know, it's the we on down. For other people, maybe that's the newer stuff. I don't know. I don't have the equipment to do that. But just keep in mind, if you're a store and you have a lot of this broken stuff, there is a market for it in the Fix It Fill group where you can just offload it and kind of wash your hands clean. But like I said, if you have questions, either comment or email me. But until we meet again, that is what I see going into the fourth quarter. So until we meet again, take care. God bless.